This is the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jess.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. What's up, brother?
Man,
How are you, man?
I'm good, but I'm kind of, we talked about, going live for a minute, and I'm part of me is kind of glad that we're not, because I'm gonna tell you, man, I need a haircut bad.
Yeah, same here, bud.
Oh my goodness, that's true.
Yeah, that's long for me, man.
I've never seen your hair that long.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
have like average length hair now.
Yeah,
and you
know, right?
You don't ever have.
No.
Yeah, man. I look like if I didn't at least take a beard trimmer to my face, I look homeless.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's all right. It's cool. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing. My day to day is interesting, man. Because now it's like I decided, like, I don't know if it's safe or not. Some people feel one way or the other about spreading stuff and getting stuff. I just looked at it like, if it's just me, like, I don't care. I'm probably mentioned this before, but I don't really care. But I got 2 kids, I got a wife. I don't want to mess with that. What if?
Yeah.
I ain't really playing that game.
Right.
So I'm doing all my sales leads on Zoom, which is super convenient because that's all you got to do. So, but however, in the house, lockdown, I'll tell you what, with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old,
I bet, man.
You need to get out the freaking house, right?
Yeah.
I have a second wing, and wherever you are, like, they find you. Like your 3-year-old will find you.
Yeah.
Like you can go to the bathroom. They don't ever follow you anywhere. But the moment you go to the bathroom, all of a sudden they're beating down the door. You're like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's the bathroom. Whatever. So yeah, you gotta do stuff like that. So basically I'm just locked down the whole time.
Okay.
And it was literally like, I'm just like, this is nuts. And 3-year-old temper tantrums, they're worse than 2-year-olds. Oh, for real.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, I'm like, hey, we need your bartending skills this morning. Right? She's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. It's 9 a.m. Let's just make the Bloody Marys. We're doing it now. And
That's awesome.
we did. That's exactly what happened. And I'll tell you what, they're phenomenal. Like, she's phenomenal at this.
She's great, right?
Oh my gosh. She's so much better. It's to a point where it's like, I'll just hand her the ingredients. Like, here, you do this.
Uh-huh.
Clearly you're better at this. Right? And she includes everything, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of, yeah, man, we're just, going through the motions of day to day, just hanging. What about you, man? Man,
it's yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit more relaxed a little bit. Like last week, I was just exhausted, worn out, because I'm trying to do everything and get going and make sure that this is right for the Christ School. And this is, and I have this next thing set up, for the virtual classes and then live and the recorded stuff, and making sure, you're just, just normal things of being an entrepreneur, but with all new expectations and new things coming up. Right. And just my brain wasn't turning off, even when, like I was saying, I think I posted, who else is teaching karate while they're sleeping, I think it's crazy because
I saw you're
on the,
I just started, I used to do that in my sleep when I was like, I don't know, like 18,
Right.
And I wake up like,
and I do that.
I think I was teaching.
Right. But it's worse now when you're like just staring at a screen, because it's different. Like you're zoned in on this small thing, or even,
because I don't do it as much as you do online.
Right. So when you're doing like a class, you can kind of scan and everything, relax a little bit. Either you're staring at it or you are just working, your butt off, and you got to be a little bit more active and a little bit more animated through the screen. So you got to work hard. So that was something, honestly, like after we had the show last week, that was the best like sleep I had in a while, because I was just relaxed and I had fun. So it was cool.
Dude, wasn't that the bomb?
Yeah. Oh man, last week was cool, man.
Last week was real cool. I felt like I was wearing 2 hats, man. Like I was doing the show, but for those of you guys, listen, because I get it, right? Sometimes, like lately, I've been getting behind on my podcast. So I'm just going to tell everybody now, listen to this podcast just like you would the others. But if you have not listened to the Mike P show, where Jeff and I had Mike Pombeiro on the show for the whole show, go listen to the show. Jeff, I don't know about you. I think it's the best show we've ever done.
Yeah.
Except for today. Today's going to be the best.
Man,
that one was the best.
I think it was great, especially for interviews. And we're just going to keep doing that, man. It's 34. Wow.
Yeah, that one was episode 34.
Episode
this
34.
one's episode 35. So when you look at the episode numbers,
that's crazy.
Yeah, look at that.
I can't believe we've done 35 of these things. Wow.
I know. Remember when we were saying we were going to do something cool for 10?
Yeah, and we just kept going. That's awesome, man. All right. What was the weirdest thing though over the weekend? Like Easter. Like this is weird for Easter, man.
It is. So we what did you do, man? Because I don't know. Did you do anything?
So we did it was weird. So we just did I did all the. Normally we do sunrise service, so that was online. I actually walked outside, just listened to it on the iPad, and I was the only one up, in the neighborhood in the downtown area. But I did that. That was cool. And then around 12, I did go to my parents, and we just did a small kind of thing of just, everybody 6 feet away from each other, and just did some desserts, and and that was it. And there for an hour, then left, and after that, just had a good day of hanging out with my girlfriend and actually getting to relax some. So that was it.
So we did a little bit of that. It was weird though.
Yeah.
To not go to, I think the specific one for me was to not go to a Good Friday service.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For real. Yeah. Same here.
And now I'll tell you this, for those listening, I didn't become a follower of Jesus until I was 26 years old, almost 27. Right? So was like later in life. When I tell that to some people, they're like, really? Like sometimes some of them thought like, oh man, I would have thought forever. And the other ones who know me for a while, they're like, yeah, man, we remember. Right? So I think that one was, it's just, I don't dread it, but I don't get excited about going to a Good Friday service because it is where
it's very,
we're literally like recapping. It's mourning. We're literally mourning what happened to Jesus at that exact time. And like, I don't want to get into the details of it. So I don't love doing this. And a lot of people will watch the Passion of the Christ on Good Friday, which is a good thing to do. You want to do that, but I don't look forward to that. Right?
Yeah. No, I don't do that.
It's a messed up thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, for those people, here's a recommendation for those people who like watching a movie of some kind that talks about the resurrection of Christ. I recommend the movie Risen. Right? Mm-hmm. It's relatively new. I think it's come out in the last 5 years ish. Within that, it's really, really well done. It's got a completely different perspective. Right? All right. It's immediately after the crucifixion until like a day or two after he was risen, and it's amazing. Right. So awesome. I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie before?
I have not. No, I need to see that. Yeah, I need to see that.
So, go see it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things.
Like Amazon Prime.
Okay.
The instant video thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, man, overall it was good. It was weird, with that part, and just like I'm saying, I just trying to figure all this out. And then today, all right, the funny thing today, so our governor, kind of does another update. And so it said that we can open our non-essential businesses back May 8th, but we're still at stay at home until June 10th. So I don't really. What kind
of sense does that make?
So I don't really understand. Any of
maybe
that.
maybe he's under the understanding like you can open your business and be in there and do day-to-day operations, but the people can't go. So you can't have any.
That's already what's been happening anyway. So I mean, it's just kind of like it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow he'll.
Well, what's like?
He'll be like, hey, this makes. No
what's
sense,
like a non-essential business, That's Well, I don't know. What would be one?
Recreation, which is what we would fall under. Martial arts falls under.
Sure. Let's say, I don't know, like
Hair
dog
salons
grooming,
right now.
hair salon. Yeah, but you can't.
Dog
There's like no
grooming.
way you could do that. Yeah. Yeah. I even messaged my, because I don't get my hair cut by a lot of different people. If someone was like, "Yo, man, I'll cut your hair," I would be like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I have in the past, like since I think 2001, I've only had 4 people cut my hair. Right.
Wow.
So yeah, so I don't have a lot of people cut my hair. So I don't really do that. So what are you gonna do? I even reached out to her though. I messaged her. I was like, "Hey, come on. I know you mentioned this before. If I ever needed to,
Yeah.
you know, you got chairs at your house. You've done this. Let's set it up. I'm hurting, so I'll pay extra for it. So whatever you got to do is going straight to you. I know you're not getting clients, so I'd be happy to, throw it your way."
Yeah.
And she turned me down. She's like, "No way. I can't have anybody in my house. Right? You high?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
it's crazy, man." Yeah. One of my friends from high school, the week that this all went down, she opened her salon business and her new business, and then had to shut it down 2 days later. It was
she
the
probably
craziest.
lost her shirt on all that money that she just dumped into it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So it's hurting a lot of people right now, man. So one of the things that's been cool for me is looking back at old videos and different things like that, and connecting with people, and just trying to find new opportunity to, right now, you know what? Hey, book someone for, a guest spot to run your class for a day. Why not do that? Talk to someone about doing something like that. Have someone to speak to your staff during this time. You know what? I mean, that's what I'm looking to do is figure. You know what? Someone maybe needs, a seminar, and you know what? It's not going to be as much as before because everyone's hurting right now. But you can. Why not go out and do that? Why not talk to the someone's staff and motivate them, or why not, teach the seminar to someone's staff? I mean, there's all kinds of different opportunities to make this happen right now. So that's what I'm trying to look at, just other ways to do stuff. I also know that I sent you a video today of like, man, I was trying to find some old forums and workouts and stuff that I did.
Oh, that one was cool.
Yeah, so that was a forum called SOSAN. It's a 5th degree.
And why did you stop?
TK
Why did you
forum.
stop doing that again?
I didn't feel like I did very good on that.
I think I just burst your bubble too. By the way, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, what do you mean? On what?
Like what you were going to talk about.
Oh, no. But yeah, I mean, because it was weird because I did it at El Paso, Texas, and then I went on stage for Grand, and I decided to do OG. And honestly, I probably should have done the other one. I'm not sure why. It was just, at that time, everyone wanted to see OG, and it was just kind of like.
Now, do you think they want to see
OG
because they look at Jeff Doss and OG, and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
That just makes sense.
Right. I think so. And especially at that time, when I've done, I mean, I won my division, but it was close, and it was like, that never happened with some of those people that was close for, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, this isn't good. But then I go back and look at it, I'm like, man, that was really good. Like, that was pretty good form.
And it's not just that it was a good performance. The form itself is a good form.
Yeah.
I like the hand movements. I don't personally know that form. I don't think I've ever seen that form before. Right?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I want to do it, because people don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For guys like me who would look at that and go, that thing's freaking dope. I got to learn that.
Right.
And that's what
exactly.
If I would have seen you do that, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Right? So as you and I have talked about forms, guys. Remember when we were doing the Hayabusa thing together for a minute, and I was like, bro, you got to show me some other Taekwondo forms. Remember exactly. So because I love Korean forms. I love Taekwondo forms.
Yeah.
But I don't in open sport karate competition, you don't see a lot of different Taekwondo forms.
You see the same ones. You see choreo. You see, I mean, really, you don't even see that as much anymore. But you see Gayback. For
you
a
used
while,
to see choreo more back when like Anthony Murata was doing it and was killing it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of different people doing it then because he was really good. Very underrated. He was one of the better Korean Forms competitors that probably doesn't ever get talked about.
Right.
But with your form, so let's look at that. So Sosan, right? That's what it was called.
Right.
Sosan.
Yeah. Sosan.
Do you think you didn't feel that comfortable with it? Was because you didn't feel comfortable with your timing with the form, maybe?
A little bit. I mean, I knew I had a long way to go to get it feel comfortable.
You should post this form, by the way. You should post it. You should totally post that video.
Should. Yeah. And I had to I was trying to figure out how to make it fit the ring because if I didn't shorten my stances on certain things or switch my feet, I would have been out of the ring because it goes really long.
Yeah.
So that was part of it. And I mean, just the hands are real difficult, man, but they're really cool. It's a really strong form. And then the beginning part where you had the side kick to one side and you turn into the side kick to the front.
Yep.
That's a cool one. And so there's certain things like that. And I want to get back to doing that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start doing it at one of these virtual tournaments and see how it goes. Enter that, I may enter that form. We're going to talk about that in a second anyway. Do you want to go ahead and get into it? Or
Not yet, but yes, I do. Right. Not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about just as we were talking about this? Remember, it was like one of the first episodes. I was thinking it was like either the first or second episode we did when we were talking about Moon Moo.
Yeah.
Bro, I actually saw a couple of performances of Moon Moo, like done extremely well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
You're the guy. I don't think is there another guy that don't be like, oh no, I'm not that good. Do you know another person right now
in sport karate?
In sport karate, pull that off.
All right, so there was a guy when I would say 2011 to 2014 or 15 when I was winning NASCA and NBL in Korean. That was doing Moon Moo, but it wasn't at that level. It didn't stand out. You know what I mean? Like he had to change the timing of his stuff because he wasn't able to do it that way.
Okay.
I want to go back and watch the team form of Moon Moo at Irish Open. There was on the first day they did team forms and there was 3 ITF guys that did it. And so I want to look at that and see how that is. But I don't know. Oh, you know who it was that did it growing up? And he stopped doing it in NASCA because when NASCA saw it, they were like, oh, that's a creative form. That's not traditional. Or it's not,
Get the heck out of here.
Cole Presley
really?
did Moon Moo. His instructor, Jason, sent me the video. It was really good too. But that was years ago when he was a kid. So I'm not sure. My student, Aaron Bailey, he did it twice and bobbled on one thing for grands at my tournament. And
then got killed for it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, he got second, but the Korean judge still gave him a 10 because he was like, dude, no one knows how difficult this form is. Like, that bobble is like normal. It's not really, it's like, okay, I'm going to give him the same score as the other person that, just because I know how difficult that form is. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Just the difficulty in the kicks. And even like the form that Sosan, that's really difficult to do a side kick, turn, side kick, and then do it on both sides and do everything on both sides. And yeah, I mean, there's just some difficult stuff. Even doing those jumps, when you just do the air jump and land on both sides, a lot of people would bobble doing that. There's some people who just aren't able to land. So.
It's interesting you mentioned that. Like when you said like what you did with Sosan, where you did it on both sides. I looked at it because I was watching. I was like, oh, he's about to kick with his left. Oh,
yeah.
No, nothing. Same. And I'm like, damn, I could not have done that.
What,
I've been
on
known
both?
to be.
Yeah.
I've been one of those guys to cheat.
I
When I would do choreo and cheat, because that's an easy one. Like you're walking into the kick. How you mess that one up?
Right.
But like when I would do like kwange, and you got to do like anyone when you got to do like you're standing, you're like basically stacked, and you got to go low high on one side right after you did low high the other side. I'm like, this is gonna look bad.
That's hard because people completely compare it to it. With choreo, you have a few.
One side.
You have a few moves. Yeah. So
you go low high one side, and then you're just standing there, and you go low high the other side. Like, wait a minute.
It's like crap.
One of these things is not like the other.
And what some people don't realize is that you don't realize the difference a lot of times.
Right.
I mean, I really a lot of times don't think I kick that high until I see a picture or a video. I'm like, oh, that was really bad. That was really low. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't. Like it's just one of those things. But yeah, man.
Hey, we talked briefly. Let's just. I want to know kind of what your thoughts were after we did the Mike
P. So
what were your biggest take? Because I'm gonna tell you like what you saw, because you're sitting here staring at me.
Yeah.
Like I said it on the pod last week. Like, for part of me kind of wishes this was a video one, because I'm literally leaning in the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I'm like nose to the glass almost. So
it was cool, man.
He has like the best freaking stories.
Yeah.
But they were important ones that tied everything in.
Right.
What were some of your favorites?
What
jumped out to me.
What was funny to me, it was like a lot of the things that I wanted to get into, like as soon as I was about to stop him so I could ask him the question, he went right into it without.
Same.
So it was so funny.
Never had to ask.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I was like, all right, that's what I was going to ask.
Basically did the interview himself.
So there was that. I wanted that Vegas story, and I was hoping that would lead into more, because I knew from being in California, and I mean I compete all over there and been on teams there and know people there, and hearing stories from Damon and Raymond and everybody, and Jason when he lived there and all that, and knowing some of those, I really wanted him to share that, and it was really cool to get that kind of a thing. But I also liked how he unlike most people, he has that New England area kind of background, and then also the Cali as well. So it was really cool. Yes. So that was pretty cool.
Wait a minute. Pedro jumped in on that? The producer just told us that Pedro jumped in and commented on the show. I must have missed that.
I saw it on Facebook. When I did it, he talked about it and liked it.
I gotta see this.
I know there's a lot of old school people that listen to it, and then several people that messaged me and just said, "Hey, that was a good one. You guys did a good job." And what the other thing that actually jumped out at me more than anything, and you and I talked about this. He listened to the show. Like he acted like he's been listening for a while. Yeah, he knew like not just us from when we were but he's listened to the show for a while now, and really knew kind of the way that just both of our memories and the way that we love the sport. And so I think it just felt fun. It was just fun, man. So that's what I really liked about it. And just the mindset he had, which I knew that he was going to drop some knowledge on people. So I really liked that,
Yeah. I kind of like how he mentioned, I was like, Jeff, you should be from SoCal, man.
Oh,
you should be a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
He goes, I used to be like Alex. I used to be high energy and extra opinionated.
That's so funny.
All that stuff doesn't matter. I was like, wait a minute, what are you trying to say?
That was hilarious.
Yeah, hey, it was good. It was good.
I'm just telling you, I've gotten the whole thing of, aren't you from here? Are you from here? Man, I've been Canadian. I've been South Carolinian. I've been, I don't know if I've ever been considered a Northerner. I don't think that. But Cali, yeah, everything. So.
I'm trying to find, the only reason I'm not jumping in is I'm trying to find Pedro's comment. I want to see what he said.
Oh.
His comment is actually on the Podbean app.
The Podbean app.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You want me to read it? Because I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know Mike. He said, well, I guess you need some. All right. I didn't know Mike needs a talk show. He needs an agent out in Cali. Great memory. I don't remember half of this. Good time reminiscing the days of old and new, by the way. Congratulations, Jeff and Alex. Fire, fire, fire emoji.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of, that's another guy who we've talked about having on.
Yeah.
Pedro, this is your official invitation. Anytime you want in, man.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, we have
about
some
him.
cool ideas as well on how to do that as well. So we're working on
Pedro
that.
went in. We've talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
As to what
Yeah.
we love. But that's
Yeah.
totally, honestly, that's up to him. When you're a legend, you get to call your own shot like that. At least with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tell you, one of the things I love the most about that is all of his stories. The story that I couldn't believe the most, and it wasn't the one where you guys tried to move past it. You were like, yeah, I mean, there was that scenario where someone got thrown through a wall or was thrown through a table, but we won't get into that. I'm like, the heck, you're not going to get into it. That wasn't even my favorite one. My favorite one was when he was talking about how he had a fight in a general area, and Ray Wizard, right? It was Ray Wizard.
Yeah, it was Ray Wizard that he fought in the ring, and then
and they had like takedowns, and his strategy. And it's what I love about it is exactly what Pedro was talking about. His memory.
Yeah.
Like, not just like, oh yeah, that's right, we had this fight there at that time. Like, he remembers in detail as to where he was, what happened.
How it happened.
Man, that dude's got a sharp mind. Love it.
Right. Right.
But after he won, he's in the bathroom changing, and he says, Ray comes in and says, "Yo, you gotta find a new way out. You can't go out the way you came.
Right.
There's guys who will be looking to hurt you." I'm like, dang.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So I mean that's the kind of stuff I wanted, him to share, and was excited about having someone from that West Coast area, Cali, because he's from all of Cali, like you said. He's been a little bit everywhere, so pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I loved it. Now, here's some other stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, before we jump into that, so Mike said he'd do another show with us.
Yeah, so maybe down the road we'll get another one in.
Dude, I feel like I feel bad because I almost feel like we had to go. We were almost at 2 hours. Normally we try to keep it about an hour and a half. Where we're topping it out. Well, I always go over because I always talk too much. But Mike was going. He was pushing 2 hours, and we didn't talk as much as we normally do. So he could have went for 2-3 more.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh yeah, so we got to have him back. He said he'd come back for another one. So that's the bomb, right? That'll happen.
That was cool. Hey, and I didn't have to tell you shut up. Remember, like we said.
That was the other thing I was saying. You didn't even have to tell me to shut up. That was great. Everybody wins. So the virtual tournament thing.
Yeah, man.
You're kind of in with this right now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You're one of the judges, and it's happening. It's like a new thing. I had mixed feelings about it at first. I'm like, man, come on, really? Virtual tournament? But now I'm like, I'm really glad that it's happening, because
I mean,
if it wasn't,
years ago people laughed at it, and there are people who have done it for a long time, tried to, and it just didn't pop up. Now it's kind of like, hey, we kind of don't have any choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the best things about it: you can actually get judges that are qualified, that are supposed to do it, and you can hand
pick them.
Yeah, and you can pay them.
Yep.
And don't have to pay the other expenses of, like, for me to do it, if whatever I get paid is nice, because I didn't have to pay for my hotel. I didn't have to pay for dinner. I have to, do all this stuff.
You don't have to travel.
Yeah, I don't have to travel. And just for someone to cover that is a lot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so you're really not getting paid. You're just getting your expenses paid for at regular terms. For this, you're actually, just getting like a regular job, and it's kind of one of those work at home type things, put your
just kind of like
your hours,
fee.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I wasn't sure about doing it, but Jacob Wolfman asked me, And he said, you know, and I like Jacob, and him and I have very similar ideas and opinions on judging and how it should be and the rules and things. And so it's funny. We're doing the whole meeting with all the judges and stuff and on Zoom. And he just starts going through all the stuff. And I see the rules, and I see some of the eyes popping up like, okay, this is different. This is different. And I'm just trying not to smirk because I'm like, yeah, this is all things that we have been doing in the NBL, but everyone complained about or didn't want
what's an
or whatever.
example?
Well, just actually like, you know, like having an athlete integrity score. Like if you are doing a musical form, it should be choreographed, right? So you have a score that actually says, not necessarily a choreography score, but just a score that just shows, is this really the essence of what this division is about? You know, now that can be objective and subjective, or whatever, subjective, whatever the word is used, but it's still like, it still makes it to where, okay, this kid did all these extreme moves or whatever in his weapon form, but this is a weapons division. So you focus on that. So you can give a technical score on everything else, but you could also be like, he really pushed the creativity. He really used that weapon. I'll give this score. So for that, so you had 70% was for technical, 30% of the score was for what they call, he called it athletic integrity. You can call it whatever it is. So there were some things where like,
okay,
I mean, there was a whole division that was supposed to be like no releases and stuff. And I don't think anyone did the division the right way. Now we still judge them technically on who had the best form, but you know, when I'm doing it, I'm getting everybody, you know, lower scores in the athlete integrity because they didn't do the rules. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first time. Normally, I think moving forward there will be DQs for that, but because this was put together in 2 weeks, I mean, seriously, like the Events X Cup was put together in 2 weeks, and with rules and everything. So once it kind of keeps going more and more, I think things are going to get better. I like the whole idea of like, you have an A, like score someone like a grade at school. You know what I mean? Like you have an A, you know, an A range, you know, 9 to 10. That's your A range. You think that's the A level kata? They're in that range. B, C, you know, you kind of do that. So you have like 5 to 10. And you really,
I'm trying to follow you, but go ahead.
Right. Because you're judging the person as they go. You're not watching all of them and going. You're giving them a score.
Exactly.
You're giving them a
judging
score
them on them.
and actually scoring them. So say, you know, you thought, man, this is an A level form. This is a high level form. I may give them a 9.0. I may give them a 9.4. I don't know. But it's judging them based on, you know, just them, not against everybody else. You know what I mean? So that way they know where to go, how they can improve. It actually gives them something to where they're like, okay, I can improve on this. Look at this. I got a 9 on my technical. That means that's pretty good. I got a 7.8 on my athlete integrity. That means I probably need to be more choreographed or to the beat. You know what I mean? Or if it's musical.
I got a question about that.
Yeah.
So you said, well, like, this is stuff NBL's been doing, you know, for years now. And everybody's always just. But I have a question. I think I know the answer. Well, I know what my opinion is on it. So, do you think it's just that we've been able to get away with doing just having music in the background just because of the ambiance of the atmosphere that you're in when you're at the tournament? Like, you can get away with that. You can pull off. You can almost pull off bad technique because of the atmosphere and the crowd that you involve.
Yeah.
All of that is removed.
Yep.
In this, I'm assuming. I haven't seen any of these forms.
No, it is. Yeah.
You told me some stories about some, which I giggled a little bit about.
Yeah, I may share a couple, but yeah.
Yes.
Please. Yeah.
So, because all of that's removed. So literally, the only thing there is to judge and score is
that
the content itself,
which
right?
I like.
Just
the
karate. Here we go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that, and at the same time go, oh, I wish I could have it the other way too. But it's like, no, this is just what we have right now.
The way it is. Yeah. So yeah, no. I mean, but the reason why this works better in this format, and even the judging and all this and the rules, is because of the technology and because of the setup. Like, for me to really put my mind and really judge someone and give someone a real score based on what they do, it's going to take me a little bit. It's going to take me a few minutes, but I have time. But at a tournament, everyone's trying to get you to go, go, go. And you're just like, all right, well, okay, they're around this range. Let me go here. You don't really have that time to really judge them and really judge them. You know what I'm saying? Like with point find, yeah, you want to go fast because you don't want to think about, well, maybe this, maybe that. You see it, you go. That's completely different. For forms, you really got to absorb what you saw. It's like, and compare to what the rules are and, you know, what division it is. So I think that's what's cool about it. You know, that's just for me. So I like that part. I think as far as putting a tournament on, you know, I think most people are charging less, which is fine.
So how does
there's less expenses in some ways. I don't know all the back and forth stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a tournament. I don't know, but we'll see.
Here's a question I got: is the form you submit?
Yeah. It needs to be something that has been done. You have to put the date that you did it. It has to be within that week of the tournament. So the week before.
Should almost Skype the form, or not Skype, but Snapchat the form.
Oh, yeah.
No, not because that would take for freaking ever.
No,
actually, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Really. And some of them,
some of them are 40 seconds. Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
No
you
intro.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they had to do a thing where it just said so when you did your introduction, you had to say your name, the division, your age, the date that it is, and that. Yep. Yeah. Now, what Infinity is going to do, they're going to have two divisions. They're going to have one just like that. You have to do within May 9th, you know, now to May 9th. And then they're going to do what they call a remix division, which is like, guess what? Let's take this form that you thought you did awesome at and give yourself a second chance, you know? And
that actually be kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. It's like, you know, hey, I killed it. Maybe I didn't do it. I might be able to
enter something.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's cool. And you could enter both divisions. So that's a whole nother thing. I think the judging would have to be a little different because you have crowd and things like that there. You know, I mean, just things like that. They were really, really different. All right, let me just get into a couple of the
I got questions, so you might as well just go for it.
Couple of the funny ones, man. All right, so I was a little worried and afraid for some of the kids that I saw because there's one kid doing his form barefooted outside.
You're not going to say a name.
No, because it was just like the underbelt division or whatever. I don't even know, but barefoot outside, lightning, thunder, rain, everything. Yeah, I'm just like, please say this kid made it. Just please say he made it. Didn't get struck by lightning.
Got struck by lightning trying to give Jeff his form.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. You know, then you had some fun little kids that were like competing in their Ninja Turtle pajamas, stuff like that.
See, now, like, look at that. That's what I'm. So you gotta treat it like it's a tournament, though.
Yeah.
So if you show up in Ninja Turtle pajamas, I mean, you own a karate uniform. So I'm sorry, you don't get a good score.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing Ninja Turtle pajamas.
Right. The idea on this one was because everything's so fresh that some people weren't able to even get to their karate school or whatever.
What do you mean they weren't able to get to their karate school? What are you talking about? Their karate uniforms are home.
Some are. If they're after school kid, all their stuff is at their dojo and then it's been left there. So yeah, I know. That was some of the stuff, some of the situations. Some of them were some of the places that were people recorded from, it looked like they just ask their parents to remove their bed and then do my form and then put everything back in. Yeah, there was somewhere I was like, this is a bedroom that's empty. This is weird. I just thought I just had a ball with it. I had fun with it. And I think that's part of the cool part as well is judging is that, like, you know, when you're judging, you can't say the things that you're thinking, right? Well, I could to myself and laugh, and at least I could get a good laugh out of some of the stuff I saw.
Now, did anybody record themselves outside?
Yeah, lots of outside stuff.
There's some people that can do that, like today here. No, snow.
Oh, there was this one guy from, I don't know where he was from, but he's doing his form in slides, which is weird to me. Doing his form in slides with ice, like patches of ice, like it just finished, you know, like it was just drying up from the snow. Like you still think it's pretty cold outside, you know, like over there. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, there was those. There was, you know, the mom that's doing her form and the baby crying because she's yelling, you know, because she's doing key eyes and making mean faces. You just gotta laugh. I mean, you know, but it's fun. I mean, yeah. So I'm interested to see how the next ones go. I'm doing a one called the Virtual World Championships, and they have like a series. They're doing an April series, so everything is. They have all of April to enter their divisions. That ends, and then we judge. And then June is one, and then July or August is one. They're doing their pretty much like a super grand style live event finals in October. So interested to see how this goes and, you know, the judging situation and that. I don't think that's going to be different than the Juventex rules and the rules that they're going to do at Infinity and then at the ISKA one that's next week or in 2 weeks. So I think I'm going to be judging a lot of this stuff and interested, just kind of see how it goes, you know. Something on the side to do. So.
But see, if they don't have the right attire, like you have to judge it the same.
No, I agree.
Like the only thing that's different is that they're not in front of you.
Right, but that's where the athlete integrity score goes down, right?
Yeah,
like there was
you get a -2. I don't know what to tell you.
Right, there was one kid
wearing
that
PJ pajamas.
Said they didn't have time or whatever to send in a new video, so they sent in a video from a tournament, and so we docked them big time on athlete integrity. You know.
How about just you're not able to enter?
Yeah. Well, I get it.
And I don't want to be. I mean.
Yeah.
No, I am being a hater, but.
So it's different. There's going to be, you know, a lot of these popping up. There's going to be different rules. What Jacob and my Marshall Studios is doing, he's kind of like saying, you know what? If you want to work with me and I will run it for you, me and Juventex will do this and we can work together and I'll get the judges. I'll do this or that. Kind of like a tournament coordinator type thing that he's doing. So, and he's focusing on that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to think what else is it. Yeah.
All this stuff is just so different right now.
Yeah.
Because it's so everything's virtual, right? And I don't know about you, Jeff. Are you like a hands-on guy when you teach?
Yeah, I am.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a touchy. Like I have to touch you.
Right.
But like we have contact.
Right.
Like if I'm teaching you, example. If I'm teaching you a sidekick, I'm going to have you make contact with something so that you can physically get a feel and understand something.
That's true.
Even if it's just like touch my hand, something, anything, just so that you can have an understanding. Right. I'm such an extroverted person. Yeah, there's a shocker. All right. Right. That I'm also a people person that likes contact of other kinds. All right.
Yeah.
So it was challenging for me to do the Zooms and the Skype lessons at first, but it's made me a better instructor.
Yes, big time. Big time.
It's made me a better instructor because it's hard. I've always been decent at really being I'm good at being relatable to just about everybody in some way, right? And it's not, I don't have just one way of doing this. Like, this is just the one way I do it. Everybody jump on board or get the heck off.
Right.
But man, when you got to do it virtually, it's hard, you know?
Yeah, it's very
different. You don't have all the different ways to do it. But it's like I said, it's made me a better instructor. So now I feel really good just about like my own coaching when it comes to different people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I think the hardest part with it is not being able to even use that many like pads and things, you know what I mean? Like, especially now with the 6-foot rule with even your instructors, you can't technically be on camera with them closer, you know, unless they're like your family member or something. So that's weird. So it's like you have to, I came up with like a contraption with a noodle and a bow, and I put the pad on the end there, and, you know, to demonstrate the kicks.
When you had someone with you as an assistant.
Right. So I try to do that because honestly, I try to go all in and just do it myself, but like I want my staff to keep going too, you know, and them to grow during this time. And it is, I think the biggest problem that a lot of people are having during this is they're going back to that time of when you were the only one, and you're like, all right, I got to make this happen. I got to make this happen. Instead, we got to make this happen. And it's real easy to fall back into being your business instead of being a part of your business, or just, you know, being in control of your business. So I think a lot of us instructors did that first week or two and wore ourselves out. And then we realized, hey, okay, you got to figure it out. Now teach others how to do it. So that's the biggest thing there, is that part. You also really have to lead your staff to understand, like, the voice. They got to speak up. They got to go through that TV screen, you know, and really connect with them. So it's been tough, but it's been a really good learning experience, and I think not just for me, but for others too.
So I don't know if you saw it today, but sportmartialarts.com, well, Mallory Woods was on with sportmartialarts.com with Raymond Daniels doing
every
like
Wednesday
a breakdown.
I didn't watch that today.
I today was the only time I was able to jump on and do it, and when I'm able to get on, everybody knows, because I've always commented.
You're always commenting,
if I'm on, you know, right?
I don't know until like every Monday I do my class, right? And so I've been doing a kick and stretching class every Monday at 1 Eastern or whatever.
Yeah, I was only live for yours one time.
Yeah, and so when I got done, I saw all your comments like, oh yeah, okay.
That was interesting, because sportmartialarts.com, I don't know who it was, which one of the moderators it was, but they were like, let us know where you're watching from. I'm like, bro, my kitchen table feeding my kids. I'll be doing this exercise later. Which I did. Funny. I love the hook kick one, by the way. And listen, here's a little tidbit. If you're doing a hook kick chamber that is not exactly like a side kick chamber, rethink life, right? You do it wrong. It's wrong. Their hook kick chamber is the same as a side kick.
Yeah, you can. There's just a lot of things that you can do that makes it not just easier, but better. Just better.
If Jeff is telling you it needs to be the same, it needs to be the same.
Yeah. So there's.
We're talking. So everything's virtual. So I got to tell you this. So this is what I think. I dropped it like months and months back. When my cousins, remember when I told you that my cousins were expecting and they were pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, kids are here. Listen to this. I don't think I ever mentioned that. So it was a few weeks ago. So my cousin Tori had twins, Avery and Andy. My cousin Kirby had her son Mac. Okay. So here's the wild part, dude. So think about it. They're in the hospital, and it's Corona time. You know what I mean?
Jeez. Yeah.
So think about that. Now, my cousin Kirby, I'm talking, and we're FaceTiming, which I got a story about this, by the way. So we're FaceTiming, and she's like, Jake, her husband, so they were saying like he may not be able to come into the hospital, right? Because he's actually doing his residency right now, right? To be a doctor. Right. So they're like, but he was in a wing that could have had contact with coronavirus patients, so he might not be able to come. And I was like, so she was freaking out, like, I can't do this by myself. It's their first kid. I was like,
wow.
Dang, So everything worked out great. But imagine this though, all right? I can't. Well, I can imagine it, but that's it, right? So I had kids, both of them, same exact experience in different parts of the country, right? Nobody can go in there, no family, nothing.
Wow.
So their parents haven't seen the kids, right? No family, nothing, right? They're like 3 weeks old now, month old, right? Nothing. Imagine that.
Wow, that's just crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's
So
this is nuts, man. This is nuts.
I know. Now, here's the crazy part. So you've done, like, I'm assuming this has happened. Everybody's pretty much done this now, where there's been either it's impromptu or it's a scheduled, like either it's like a Facebook video messenger call or it's a Skype call or it's a Zoom call or WebEx, and everybody's on and everybody's, hey, we'll do the happy hour thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've done this.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of done that before with like my family and stuff. So
look at you, always trying to be ahead of the curve. Right? So
hey.
I have 472 cousins. Okay. So my cousin Sarah, she decides, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call all the cousins and the aunts and uncles on Facebook video messenger. Like, huh? What? So she calls them all. And like I thought would happen, I'm getting the call and I can see like everybody's on this call. Like it's what it's supposed to be. When I answer it, there's only 3 of us on there. Like kind of what I expected. Like my cousin Erica, my cousin Sarah, and we were on there. But this phone conversation, this thing lasted. I don't know if this is your experience. The thing lasted for like, I don't know, like 2.5, 3 hours.
What?
Because unless everybody leaves, it's still going. So you can leave and come back. You can leave and you can come back.
I haven't done that, no. Wow.
Just like you can on Skype. So it ends up at one point, there's like 11 people on, but the most comical one. So everybody's got a family member like this. Promise. This one's it's so hilarious. I had to tell you about this. So my Uncle Buzz, right?
Uh-huh.
His technological understanding is what his name sounds like, right? So he's on there. First of all, I don't know why he jumped on the call, right? So he jumps on the call, no video, angry at the world, yelling. We think it's the most hilarious thing ever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let's try to salvage this. It's fun that he's here. I'm talking, all right, Uncle Buzz, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. Meanwhile, everybody's laughing and he's yelling, everybody shut up, right? And he's not going to listen to this, so it don't matter, right? So, and I coach him into it, get the camera on, only he's got the camera pointed at the dog because he doesn't realize you got to flip the camera around. Oh my gosh, it was golden.
That's the best.
It was golden, right? And then by the time he realized he got it all together, he realized this is a waste of his time, and he left. And it was great. So yeah, we've been doing those, man. Because
that's cool.
Really, between that, what else are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm doing weird workouts. Like my daughter's small enough that I can do it. Like, all right, yeah, push-ups on my back. Yeah, that's no big deal. Do that. All right. Trying to hold her while doing slow kicks. And then she's like, let me get that. Oh, the hardest one is when they're squirming to get down and you're midway through the set. You're going to do a set of 25 and you're on kick 9 and she's trying to get out and you're like, I'm getting to 25. Right? Yeah. How about that one? Yeah. That'll mess your balance up right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. What have your workouts been like?
Doing class, teaching class.
You get to go. You get to school though. That's the thing.
I do. So, but I tell you, man, like I've kind of gotten tired even going to the school. Like I feel like I go to the school more, and then because once I'm there, like I don't want to leave, or I kind of, you're kind of. So I'm just there. So I'm a teacher in the morning, and I just stay until night. So some mornings I teach it right here. And that's kind of difficult, but it's a good thing for my students to see that, hey,
you're still here at home working too.
Yeah, like you want to complain about you don't have enough room. I got less room than any of you, so shut up. Like this. It's just so sometimes I do it on purpose. Like I even did. I kind of started doing like a forms focus class on Friday morning, and I even did it the past 2 weeks here, and just using that little hallway area to show them that, hey, yeah, you can still adapt and do your forms and work your forms in whatever space. So stop making an excuse, and stuff. So that's kind of my thing I've been doing. Was doing I was finishing up my push-up thing, that I was doing. And
what was
got,
the push-up thing? I forgot that you challenged
Lent,
me.
Yeah, for Lent, I just decided to do like 4,000 push-ups in 40 days instead of, like taking something away. I decided to add something as well. So I ended up getting to 5,600 or something like that, somewhere around that. So it was a lot easier than, I probably could have done more. I want to kind of push more on that. But since that ended on Easter, like I've done them for class, but not really like focused like I was. But yeah, man, I've been doing a lot of like Mondays. I teach my morning class. Then I teach my sport martial arts class is a good workout for me because I'm doing everything, and there's no one on the other side to teach. So I can be all right, guys, go. I have to do every single thing. So it's a great workout for me.
That's good.
On that. And then, yeah, just working out and getting those kicks and everything.
This is also something that we've been talking about it for months. You had to do this for 10 years.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
You had no school or instructor for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's still wild to me.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if I share with you, like I learned Shotokan karate on the phone. Like my instructor.
Stop.
Yeah, my instructor taught me from North Carolina on the phone when I was in high school. So yeah,
how is that possible? Explain to me how that's possible.
So we work these forms. All right, you turn this way, you go here, boom. All right, you go this, boom, boom. All right, practice that later on. Okay, we'll talk about it. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? All right, then maybe we would get together. I don't know, once every 3 months, maybe. That's kind of pushing it sometimes. And maybe I'd send a video, but there was no Skype or Zoom back then. There was no
learned.
It was a house phone.
Whole other martial art.
Yeah.
Over the house phone.
Right.
With a cord.
Right.
Now, I didn't even know like a cell phone or a cordless phone where you could, like, as he's explaining it to you, do it.
Yeah.
So, you got to be kidding me. And I'm guessing it was probably one of those kitchen phones that had, like, 50 feet of cord.
Yeah.
Dude, you ever get yourself wrapped around those cords? Those cords suck.
It's not fun. But yeah, so what's cool now is that I can really relate that to my students now. Before, they never understood that. Like, what are you talking about? All right, whatever. That's just you. Only you can do that or whatever. And I'm like, no, like,
I hate it when
you can do it. It can be done. Like, you can do it. You can just do it. Like the other day, one of my top black belts, the mom was like, well, he can go outside. It's just not the same. Like, yeah, I know it's not.
No kidding, it's not the same.
It's not.
If it was the same, there'd be no point in coming to my school.
Right, and it was just like, it's not supposed to be the same. And I'm like, listen, I did this for 10 years. I worked outside. That's how I trained, was doing my forms outside or inside or whatever. Like, he's gonna learn, so he's gonna grow. So you got this. So yeah. Yeah, and I think as an instructor too, a lot of times you got to pull back a little bit of that too, because not everyone's going to understand where you're coming from on it. You got to push a little bit with that, but you also got to understand their perspective too. So I think that's the hard part. Yeah. Oh well.
Wow. Well.
Yeah. We've had a good little run talking about this right now. So, but I think it's been good, kind of getting a little bit into everything. As far as that goes. So, all right, ready, Alex?
Now, no, bro. Remember, next week we got another
Oh, I know. I'm not saying are we ready to be done.
Oh,
I'm
good.
saying are you ready for the next topic?
What our competitors of the week?
Oh, sure.
Or what? No. What was I forgot? What was our next topic?
All right. So we were going to talk about what it is
yes.
we can do this and kind of go over this for a little bit. What is maybe like some of your best events and some of your worst, and I think you and I privately kind of talked about this, like,
yeah.
So let's just go like your first 3 to 4 years, like really on the circuit when you went in, because I think that's a good measure of how
when I was already all in.
Right. When you were all in and you went. So for me, that was
not even just a black belt. Like you're competing.
I would say black belt.
But I mean, not even just black belt, because there was like a good 4 years. I'd say probably 3 to 4 years after I was a black belt before I was really like moving around.
Correct. No, I get that. But I mean, I guess for me, so when I turned a black belt, like I already had in my mind, I was going to compete in NASCA. And so I went 94, 95, 96, like straight, and like those 3 years, those 3 or 4 years, like it was weird because everyone would think, living in Virginia, that DC was going to be like, like your home tournament. Capital Classic is going to be your home tournament. I did not do good there. I never did good there until later. I did. All right. So I won. I think I did win in 95. I won in 97. I won in 90. Okay. I won 98, 99. I ended up doing pretty good, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
I only won.
But I didn't win grands. You know what I'm saying?
row.
And that's what like I didn't win. I didn't really dig in there and get it. So, but like when I came out, Compete Nationals ended up being like for
that
3 years, I won every time. It was like I was good right out the gate, get in that first tournament because I had trained really well. I was good at training in the off season, and I was ready to go, And so
that was for really a long time. That was the first tournament, or
first AAA, first AAA tournament.
It was either the first tournament or it was the first one where all the big people who mattered were going to be at that tournament.
Yeah. So when I was coming up, it was different. You had single A, double A, and AAA tournaments. And that was your national tour. And there was no world tour then. It was national.
Right.
And so
now there's a 22A.
I had a couple of double A tournaments that I went to kind of get warmed up. And that was like one in New Jersey, the one I talked about where I saw the hit and run or whatever. And then and I got snowed in. And then in Gold Coast Open in Fort Lauderdale was one as well. And so I had those kind of to get me ready. But Compete, man, that was, and that was back when it was in the ring. And, man, I remember first time I was really, on the finals of a big tournament. And I'm walking back, and I hit those ropes, and I, like, catch myself. I'm like, and I'm 10 years old, a little 10-year-old kid, about fall. But it was some crazy judging. I'm just going to tell you. There are 7 judges.
Why?
And because I did a slow motion hook kick at the end of my form, 2 judges gave me 2 10s. I was not even close to 10. The other ones gave me, 6s and 7s. And, we had 14 of us on stage there.
What?
Yeah, because it was just forms grand, and you had your male winner, female winner for every division, and you put it on there. And that's how it was back then, man. And then, but that was only some tournaments. Some tournaments split boys and girls, some didn't. It was mostly combined, So for me, those first 3 years
at that time, most of them were combined.
Yeah, it was diamonds. I won almost every year, and Bluegrass was pretty good too. And then Compete. Oh, and then Texas Challenge. Every time I went to Texas, that was a good one. That was in Houston, Texas. That was a NASCA for about the first 3 years I was competing. So it was always away, traveling.
It's interesting you bring that up. There's a few local events that are just like, like even like around Chicago, it's like, no, man. it's top heavy as all get out, right?
Yeah.
Like that's hard, right? And at the time in Minnesota, like all the really good fighters were there, right? Like all, I mean, even Donald Brady was fighting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like that was hard, and so there was a few of them where it was like, no, this tournament's, I don't lose this one. But can you really count it because it's local? So really no, right?
Right. Right.
So, but when you get down to it and you're competing on the highest stage, dude, the Diamonds was a killer for me.
Yeah.
So, and I know why it was to an extent is I pedestalized the tournament too much, where I would put it up on this pedestal like, oh man, I got to get this, and I would build it up like it's bigger than the tournament I had, 3 weeks ago when it is bigger, but we're doing the exact same thing.
Right.
So I made it a bigger deal mentally and emotionally than I needed to for my performance.
Correct.
So
I used to do that with Battle of Atlanta because Battle of Atlanta growing up was the thing. It was I went from 90 until like 2001, like straight, and from when I was 6 to, and I mean, let's see, I got third place in sparring in my first Battle of Atlanta, and I got like 9th or 10th or something in forms, right? And then from there, I don't remember even.
But you started when you did this when you were 10, so it doesn't count.
Well, all right. So when I was younger, but after that, I don't remember placing at the Battle of Atlanta in underbelt divisions the rest after that. Maybe finalists, but I don't remember getting the top 4 after that as an underbelt.
Oh,
and then when I went, so 94, when I moved up to black belt, I have like a seed because it's in April by that time, right? And I've just won and beat a bunch of people at the first 2 or 3 tournaments. And that was kind of how I felt like, oh, I've never done good here. I'm not, and it was the Georgia Dome. It was one of the biggest ones. 94, 95 were 2 of the biggest years they ever had, and I'm sitting there freaking out like, and then I'm hearing everyone else like, you're not going to beat, and this is where you're not going to beat Jennifer Santiago. You're not going to do it. I'm like, I've done it already twice this year. That was kind of like, oh man, maybe they're right. I'm not going to do it. And I got in my head and I didn't. And, but again, I got second in the Battle of Atlanta. Okay. Like, second and third, it was still pretty cool, but I was mad. The next year I came back, I was the number 1 seed, which really was not good. I mean, it ended up being okay, but my division had 40 people in it. Okay. And I have to go last. And I'm sitting there getting pumped up and ready to go. And I'm like, all right, no.
You exhausted yourself.
Get some more up. Yeah. And then I finally won the Battle of Atlanta. But for me, that was like a big hump to get over. Like, dude, I won the Battle of Atlanta. Like, that was cool. That was when I finally was like, all right, this is my year. I'm going to, do it. But I mean, that was, but I think that's one of those things you put those tournaments in your head. And I think I do that with Diamonds too. Like, I always won my division, but when they did runoffs, I got 4th place, and they took the top 3 every time, and that stayed with me forever until the last time I went and I finally made the stage, and it's one of those things, and yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because there's some events that start out rough for me that then when I got older became my go-to events, like a DC, as far as the national circuit that I've done really well as an adult there. Survivor in the NBL was once it became a national, was like my go-to tournament. I won grands every year. The past year that I came back, I won.
But isn't your story like an example? So like when you said like, man, I didn't do so well in this one, but I did so well in that, and it's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah, it is.
Wherever
it is.
At, and the best,
you gotta go push through the struggle.
Wisest advice I ever heard was when someone said, "However things are right," I'm gonna mess up the wording. He goes, "No matter how good or bad things are, things will change." Yeah. It doesn't say what direction.
Right. It's true.
It doesn't say, man, things are bad. They're going to change and get better. Doesn't say that.
No. Yeah.
Things are great. They're going to change and get worse. Doesn't say that. They can get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever things are, things will change.
Right. Right.
But what your story gives an example of is, screw that, just keep competing. Screw that, keep competing.
Just keep going
just keep
after it,
freaking
yeah.
going. What are you gonna
That's
do?
the same thing
Quit?
with Super
It's
Grands. Yeah.
karate. You
Right.
love karate. Why would you
Right.
not do it?
Correct.
This is the whole reason we're even talking about this. Because this is what we do. Do you know how boring basketball practices are? Well, of course, everything's boring to you when it comes to basketball because
That's not true.
I mean, I enjoy it, but
I like basketball, but okay.
You don't. All right? You don't. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't patronize me. But you see what I'm saying? You play the game, right?
Yeah.
We do this to compete. We're doing this. We're fighting, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how boring? You know how boring sparring is? Just to go in there and spar with no goal to try to beat the other person in front of you. You're just kind of going through the motions.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
If I'm not trying to all right, I'm going to try to beat you this round.
Yeah.
If we're just hitting just to hit, I can't do that.
Right.
So I don't know how people are able to do it. They're able to do it. They're just able to just kind of close round. You hit me, I hit you. There's no concept as to what's going on, as to who's doing better. No concept at all. We're just kind of moving. I don't understand it. For a very brief time in high school, I was a competitive swimmer, right?
Okay.
I can't get in a pool and swim without going all out. I can't do what most people in a gym go to do. They go in there and say, yeah, I'm just going to go do 20 laps. I can't do that. Right.
Right.
When you walk in and you smell the chlorine, you hear the echoes, that means race to me. And I get in the pool and I'm at the back of it. And it's like, we're going to take the hell off right now. That's what I love. That's what I love about, and it's such an obscure thing. I'm sure there's two people who've even done competitive swimming who are going to listen to this, right? But when you enter in that, and it's immediate competition that just sets into your mentality, right? That's the same thing. But it's the same thing when you enter into it, like I mentioned before, basketball. When you enter into a gym and you grab the ball and you feel the texture and you feel it and you hear the echo, everything about that is competition. It's the same thing that this should be. When we're doing this to compete. We're doing this, and it's not because it's a sense of vanity. We're doing this because it's why we wanted to be good at this.
Right.
And this is something that I do that I want to be really good at. This is my way of measuring, not because I'm going to say this is how great I am, because I want to be good at it.
Right.
So your story shows, big deal if you sucked. Yeah, you're going to end today like you were 10. Was your goal to be the best 10-year-old in the world? No. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to learn from everything. And you know what? Like going to Denver, Colorado sucked. I sucked at that tournament. That was Mile High Classic. That was the worst.
I never was.
And
I never was at that.
And I had to learn how to deal with that, how to deal with the elevation, how to deal with those things.
Did that bother you?
Big time. I had asthma and allergies and everything. Wow. It was just always awful. And just that time of the year, too.
What time of the year was that tournament?
I think it was like the very beginning of March or May, because it was after competes. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and back then you had 3 tournaments right in the beginning of the year. With Compete, Denver, Empire State, Battle of Atlanta, Ocean State, all that was within like April, January to April. So, and then then I also did, from January to April, I did 8 tournaments at least that were NASCA tournaments.
Damn.
Because we had the big tournament in New Jersey. We had the
January to April, you did 8 tournaments.
Yeah, and just regular. I mean, I'm not even talking about local tournaments. I'm talking about like national level tournaments. Yeah.
There's many years where I've done 8 tournaments or less for the whole year.
Yeah. I mean, we went to David Deaton's tournament in Nashville, Tennessee, which was a big tournament. Ended up being a NASCA national or world tour later on. There was just a lot of those events like that. Like I had to get in there because when you're first going at it, especially doing the tour, you got to go all in. I think that's the best thing because if not, then you're not getting those reps that those high level people have. You got to go against those high level people as many times as you can. And I really think that. I think when you don't go all in, then you're just kind of teasing yourself a little bit. You're kind of just, let's see how this is. Okay, well, then you're only going to, especially in forms, like you got to get after to get those seeds, but you also got to really, you just got to compete. You got to get that mat time, And it's not the same of mat time in the dojo. You got to get at a tournament and compete.
Right.
So, yeah.
I got a question then. So what tournament or tournaments would you say, for Jeff Doss, this worked out really well?
Okay, so the biggest one took me 11 years to finally win was Super Grands. And then from there, like, I never lost. I mean, I lost it, but what I'm saying is, like, I went on a run. I went from always, like, having the most third places at Super Grands, and then ended up now have the most overall Grands and most Korean titles and most open musical titles, that kind of thing, like, that was really cool. And then as far as with NASCA, it was, I would say, eventually end up being Capital Classics. And then Survivor and NBL. I mean, yeah, Survivor was a good one. So, what about you, man? What do you think was your best?
I mean, here's the thing. The level where my peak was and where most of the guys, like you or most of the guys we'll talk to, they are different peaks. It's just me being honest, right?
Yeah.
You're about to get an honest moment from Alex right now. Okay. I am an above average talent. I would say, as far as talent, I had top end talent that only performed at above average performances. All right.
Okay.
So I would get there. I would always be like, all right, it's going to look like I'm going to take this one. And it just, something wouldn't happen. I'd have I'd lose to Raymond, right? Or I'd have Jason Borelli would beat me, or if we didn't even fight that often, but like I would say it was Ross Levine, right? Something like that. It's like, no one's like, oh man, you laid an egg, man. How'd you lose to that guy? It wasn't like that. Right. But it's like, eventually you got to beat those guys.
Right.
And I didn't do that often enough. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
I didn't do that often enough to be considered a guy. And if I was never on this show, people would probably never really talk about me that much. Right?
Right. Okay.
That's just the truth. That's just the truth about Alex Dingman. But here's the thing. The thing, I say that the events I just ended up performing the best at, it was probably Irish Open.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The awesome. First one I went to was in 2014. I did not understand the culture. I got swept hard. Like, actually, I mean, swept, like up, like in the air, very high. Right?
Yeah.
And I was so incredibly angered that I spreaded him in like the next 13 seconds. Right? When you get that shit hurts, man.
Yeah, it's
bad. I couldn't feel my whole left leg. Like, I'm like, I can't walk. How am I supposed to fight? I can't walk.
Right.
I made it through 2 more rounds. I'm like, no, I actually can't stand up. I had to bow out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, I can't stand. I had to have somebody work on it, yada, yada. Fought the next day. And in the open weight, I lost to Tomas, and I thought that was some BS. I don't care, man. Whatever. You're a great fighter, but that fight, whatever. That was not you had some BS there. All those back ridge hands you tried laying, they were all on hands, buddy. Had them way out in front and tagged you twice afterwards. I don't care. Whatever. You're a better fighter. You've accomplished more. Don't get pumped up. Not that day. All right. But and it was like, all right, I lost to Christian. So I won't pronounce his last name because I can't. And he's a great guy. And the gold medal round, I thought, man, I let that one get away with it. And I was pissed. Right. So 2016, I laid an egg. 2017, I wasn't there. 2018 was the snow in the year.
Yeah.
And I didn't lose. Right. So that one worked out. I had 2 divisions. I won them both. And that was great. But so I felt like, all right, I did okay, I did pretty well. But all the other ones was like, man, I would do great. Like U.S. Open for a long time, like I was doing great, and then I had probably like 3-4 years. Was like, man, can I win my division?
Yeah.
Can I get out? Can I
understand.
get out my division here? No. I'm like, damn. Right. So it was hard. The battle. I don't think I ever won my division at the battle. Maybe I did. It was just weird ones, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Pan Am's was all right. I like Pan Am's. I did great at Pan Am's.
That's one of the only tournaments I haven't been to.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
We're talking about the past.
Yeah.
What do you want to do going into the future? What are the ones that are like, all right, I gotta hit this tournament.
What events? Yeah, still for me, like I still want to do the battle because I see that the level's kind of picking up again, and so I want to get back to those events.
Be careful, man.
Yeah.
Be careful, because that's what happens with karate tournaments, man.
Oh, I know.
They suck you in.
Oh, I know.
Like, no, you got to come back. What
yeah.
you did before don't mean nothing.
That's right.
You got to come back and do it again and again and again.
Well,
like,
I already felt that. That's why I wanted to do some other world events. I want to do some overseas stuff. We're just different leagues. I wanted to do WKC, WKU. And
it's amazing to me how much you have to do, but yet you've already done so much. Like, you got to do the WKC thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to do the Irish Open, and you got to do Pan Am's.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. And what's weird, I never made it to Guatemala, which is weird to me. I'd still, because especially since I was a big NBL tournament, I never ended up going. I always wanted to do that, but I'm not sure what's going on with them now. So, yeah.
Close.
But, yeah, man. Yeah. So, those events would be cool. I'm not sure why I don't just go to Miami. Maybe I should.
Alex will find some kind of hookup.
That's right.
Alex?
That's right.
He's got it. You got it, buddy. I got faith in you, bud.
Oh, man. All right. So
let's go to. So how about this? Let's do a little preview of our next week's show.
Yes.
We're going to be doing this more often. Where we're going to have, before we were doing it like once a month, we'd have a guest. Hey, we're going to have a guest every other show. We're gonna have a guest.
Yep.
Really, this is just kind of some downtime. We're gonna just soak it up. Here we go.
We're gonna
have a guest every other show.
We're not phoning it in, man. We are gonna freaking kill it. I'm pumped up. This show is a lot of fun, and yeah.
And the person we're gonna have on next week is the one and only Joe Greenhaw. Joe Greenhaw, not Joe. Joe.
Yeah, Joseph Greenhaw.
Joseph Greenhaw,
the owner of
Mr. G.
Straight up, yeah. The
and
man.
You know what I really thought about this? I started thinking about this, Jeff. So I started martial arts in early 1992. That's when I started. Okay, so when I really started paying attention to like karate tournaments nationally. You were probably already competing. I would say it was probably like 95, and I started paying attention. So that's why, like last week, when I said like when I saw Mike Pombeiro for the first time in '96, I knew I was late to the party.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I knew I was like, this can't be the case that like he just became a thing. I know I'm late to the party.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I went Black and Blue Video. I started getting some tapes, and I'm like. And I was watching them, right? I'm watching all the other tapes because it would be the best of fighting, in all the years. And Wally had them all. They were hot, right? And then I would watch all the other tapes. He was great, right? But I started thinking about it, it's like ever since like I started competing as a black belt, Joe's always been there.
Yeah.
He's always been around. He's always there. So many people have come and gone. And he's seen everything through, everything. So from the rises, the falls, the stories, the people, the pros, the Joes, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. First time I actually went to Capital Classics in '93. I was competing against Joey, his son. We were competing against each other, and then from there. I think he was still an underbelt in '94, and then or middle of the year he kind of moved up, and then we were in the same division. And yeah, man. I mean, I've known him for years, so I'm excited for him to say yes to this, and he said he's not gonna hold back. He's gonna tell the truth and his opinions on this and that, and we're just gonna.
What's
I mean, we're
wild?
gonna guide him a little bit, I think, but once it kind of goes, I think any questions we have, he's gonna answer. So we're gonna have some fun, man.
What's wild is like, so Joe and I, we've always known each other. We've always been around. Anytime I'm at a karate tournament, of course Joe is there.
Yeah.
That's not like he was like, oh, Alex, of course he's here. No, of course Joe is there.
Joe's there. Right? Yeah.
So
always.
There's been times where he's like, I think there was even a few times where he was just like, I don't want to say rooted for me, but like talked to me afterwards and was like, hey man, I thought you were gonna win. I thought you could have done this. You screwed up. And imagine the way he would say it, like, not, hey, you screwed up, but you can imagine the colorful way he would have explained that.
Yeah.
Well, then there's also times where it's like, man, I'm fighting against your guys, and he's trash talking me.
Yeah.
That's Joe, right?
Yep.
And then you talk to him today like, hey, nothing, right?
Yeah. 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 It's cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited for it. We're going to have some fun. Yeah, so just be ready, guys. Like, this is going to be we're gonna keep this going every 2 weeks, and we got some other ones coming up, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we cannot tell them yet
what
the ones are. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm excited about those ones. So, message in with questions if you guys have questions for Mr. G. He's been, like I said, he's been in sport martial arts through the years. He's seen everything. He's seen it all. His team has gone through ups and downs because people kind of come and go. People go off. People come back. People do this. People do that. He's had just about every major big name, almost. I don't want to say, if you were a major big name in martial arts, he had almost all of them, right, during an era. He had most for each era.
Yeah.
He had them at some point.
Well, and you're also talking about someone who's probably worn every hat. There's as a parent, as someone who is a martial arts supplier, a promoter, a school owner, a team owner, judge, everything. So we're gonna get a full spectrum of it. So I'm excited. Yeah, man.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. It's going to be good.
This is the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff.